Hello fellow astrologers, and welcome back to our next set of videos in our basic birth chart series, CD2 Sara's birth chart. In this video, CD2IP, we will be going over our chart interpretation of all the signs of Sara's inner planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. In our last video, we went over our chart interpretation of all the signs of Sara's luminaries, also known as the Big Three. So the three inner planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, show how we communicate, how we're receptive, and how we're projective. So it's how we talk and communicate, how we receive things, and some of our more feminine side, and also how we project ourselves with possible force and our masculine side. In this case, Sara's Mercury is in Gemini. Much like her sun and moon, it talks about more how she's more communicative. Because Gemini is the ruler of Mercury, it actually has a strong connection to the two. Now she also has a Taurus Venus right here. And once again, Taurus is the ruler of Venus as well as Libra. Much like Mercury shares Virgo with Gemini, Venus also shares Libra with Taurus. But Taurus is definitely one of the rulers of Venus, which both makes some very strong planetary rulers. Now, she also has Mars in Libra. Now, Mars is ruled by Aries, so Libra makes it the detriment position, which can be one of the more difficult positions. It doesn't mean it's terrible. It just means it has some challenges when it comes to action. Sometimes Libra likes to talk when it's time to act. But let's go back over here to Mercury and read them the paragraph, and then we'll discuss it a little bit more. With Mercury in Gemini, Sara's mind moves swiftly and gracefully through ideas, language, and expression. She is a gifted communicator, thinker, and connector, always curious and able to adapt her tone to any audience. This Mercury thrives on learning, writing, speaking, and sharing insight, often excelling in multitasking or conversational-based work. However, her mental agility can lead to restlessness or scattered focus if too many thoughts compete at once. Clear structure and verbal outlets help her transform curiosity into knowledge and insight. Okay, so Mercury rules communication, like I said earlier, and here it's in its right home in Gemini, the sign of the curious mind and the restless learner. Sara's thoughts definitely move fast, and she's a natural multitasker who picks up new ideas instantly. There's a lot of Mercury going on in her chart, so there's a lot of that communication and thinking and multitasking all working together. Mercury in Gemini gives her a sharp wit and ability to express complex things in a simple way. She knows how to keep people interested in what she's talking about. One of the challenges is focus, though. The Gemini Mercury's mind's always jumping around from topic to topic, so it's hungry for something new. And it can't always stay focused on one subject. This placement thrives when it can use the variety of its advantages. Anything from conversations to writing or any field where thinking and talking are the job. Gemini Mercuries don't just process information, they play with it. Curiosity is one of their superpowers. One of the keys to balance with this placement is learning to filter which ideas deserve action and which ones are just sparks passing through. So learning to prioritize is huge. Mercury is the planet of communication, and Gemini is the great communicator. Putting them together makes for somebody who really knows how to get ideas across and to share thought with others. Okay, so now let's move on to Taurus Venus. Let's read the paragraph and then we'll talk a little bit more about it afterwards. Venus in Taurus brings Sara a steady, sensual, and deeply loyal approach to love and aesthetics. She loves comfort, beauty, and emotional security, seeking relationships that feel both grounding and enduring. Her Venus draws others in through warmth and calm, earthly charm. Taurus Venus loves with patience and prefers tangible expressions of affections, gestures, touches, and shared stabilities. Yet this placement also resists change, sometimes holding on to love or comfort past its season. When in balance, she becomes the embodiment of devotion, harmony, and artistic grace. Okay, so because Taurus is the ruler, or one of the rulers of Venus, is very much at home in the planet of Venus. It's sensual, patient, and deeply rooted in comfort and loyalty. Taurus Venuses express love through steadiness, physical affection, and creating a sense of calm around them. And for them, relationships are strongest when they feel secure. They want to build love, not chase it. A Taurus Venus wants to build that castle with their partner. They don't expect them to already have it waiting for them. Beauty and harmony matter a lot to them, not just emotionally, but physically. Soft textures, good food, art, and natural surroundings restore their spirit. This Venus values quality over quantity. It invests deeply into the people and the things that they love. At times, they may resist change or hold on to comforts a little too tightly. Taurus prefers things that they are familiar with. This placement has incredible staying power when it comes to love and art. Once a Taurus Venus is committed, they are all in. Their heart teaches others that stability and affection aren't boring, they're sacred. Which is one of the reasons why Taurus Venus makes for one of the most excellent placements you can have when it comes to the planet in that sign. But now let's move on to Libra Mars. Let's go ahead and read the paragraph and we'll talk a little bit more about it as well. Sara's Mars in Libra channels ambition through diplomacy and partnership. Libra Mars acts with charm and tact rather than force before taking action, which can cause issues if there's too much time spent talking and no action being taken, because Mars is the action planet. This Mars placement is drawn to fairness, aesthetics, and harmony, using social skills to advance goals. She's most motivated in collaborative environments or artistic pursuits where cooperation leads to creation. However, indecision can stall her momentum if she overconsiders others' reaction. True strength emerges when she learns to assert her will while keeping peace intact. Okay, so Mars represents our drive, our willpower, and the way we take action. It's the instinct to pursue what we want, how we handle conflict, passion, and the motivation in both love and ambition. So Mars in Libra brings a graceful kind of strength, the power to lead with cooperation rather than confrontation. So Libra Marses tend to act through harmony. They win people over with charm, fairness, and persuasion instead of pressure. So they're at their best when they're working with others or fighting for balance and justice, not against them. This Mars is definitely motivated by beauty, connection, and mutual respect. So conflict feels uncomfortable unless it's handled diplomatically. Sometimes they may hesitate or second guess themselves, trying to please everyone before taking action. But once they find their equilibrium, their ability to mediate and motivate others become a true gift. Their ambition is aesthetic, to create a world where things look and feel right. Mars in Libra shows that strength can wear a smile and power doesn't have to be loud to be effective. Okay, and to sum it all up, the inner planets Mercury, Venus, and Mars show how Sara experiences her life on a personal level. They reveal her mental style, emotional language, and approach to action, how she thinks, what she values, and how she goes after what she wants. Mercury in Gemini gives her a lightning-fast mind and the voice of a storyteller. Communication is not just a tool, it's her art form. The Venus in Taurus grounds that quick mind with loyalty, beauty, and sensitivity. It's how she creates stability and lasting affection in a changing world. And finally, the Mars in Libra ties it all together with grace and diplomacy. She doesn't force outcome, she harmonizes with them. Together, these three planets describe a personality that blends mental agility, emotional steadiness, and social charm. A thinker, a lover, and a peacemaker. So when we think about how the luminaries describe who she is, her inner planets show how she moves through life in the day-to-day. They form a living bridge between the inner world and the outer experience. The voice, the touch, the actions that make her personality real. And I think that pretty much sums up her inner planets. One thing you may have noticed, we do have all these blue little highlighted links that will take you to Google searches for a deeper dive into what Google has to say for things like Gemini and Mercury. And also if you want to just look at just Gemini or Mercury separate, we also have these little lettered and numbered links that go to the video where we talk about these subjects. So if you want to take a deeper dive and look for yourself to explore more into these different topics, you can click on one of these links that will take you to the Google search or the video that will tell you more about it. And if you want to watch this video, you can click on the link here and you can pick up the PDF from our Patreon if you'd like to do that deeper dive and read it for yourself. So stay tuned for our next video right here, the mid-planets, CD2MP, where we talk more about the mid-planets. We hope you have enjoyed this video from our Astrology Keyring series. If you like the content, please like, follow, and share with your friends. Thank you for watching and have a blessed journey.